Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of First Look on Outside Business Journal. My guest today is Sean Smith. He is the Director of Community Engagement at Elastic Suite. Hey Sean, how are you?
Doing great, Kristen. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's start off by telling people about Elastic Suite, what it is, what it does, and also, very important, explain the connection with Emerald, the parent company of Outdoor Retailer.
Sure. Be happy to. So Elastic Suite is a B2B platform, business-to-business platform, e-commerce. So retailers being able to buy products from brands digitally. And the whole idea behind that is not only getting rid of printed catalogs, because what they can do to the environment, but really speed to market, being able to really have that buyer-retailer collaboration and just make that whole process a lot more accurate. So we were purchased by Emerald Expositions at the end of 2020. And the purchase there, Emerald is known, they're a trade show company. They produce Outdoor Retailer, they produce Surf Expo and a lot of other shows. But really at the end of the day, they're not just a trade show company, they really are a commerce company. They're trying to connect retailers with brands for selling into products. So at the end of the day, they bought Elastic to extend that commerce process throughout the year, not just during trade show season. Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, you know, I mean, trade shows, let's be honest, trade shows have evolved so much in the last 10 years or so, right? And specifically, dramatically since the pandemic came crashing down on us. The last two Outdoor Retailer shows, and I haven't missed an Outdoor Retailer show in 25 years. The last two shows have been a shadow of its former self. And of course, this has been a huge topic of conversation throughout the industry, right? A lot of people are talking about the death of trade shows, and a lot of people are mourning the good old days of trade shows. What's your take on the evolution of trade shows and in the role that Elastic plays in that?
Well, the trade shows definitely are evolving. And I think, you know, as you said, we saw a lot of people trying to say, you know, the death of the trade show since the pandemic. I have a completely different view. I think it's very similar to the death bell that was rung for brick and mortar retail. Said, you know, brick and mortar retail is dying, everything's going to e-commerce. And yes, e-commerce is growing, it's going to continue to grow. But we saw with the pandemic when we had either spots where we were able to get back out, and now that we're really opening up again, brick and mortar retail is booming right now. It really tells us that buyers want to be out, the consumer, the customer wants to be out in brick and mortar stores shopping. They want that experience of being in a store and touching things and talking to another human being to get perspective. And I think the same thing goes for the trade show. The old days of everything is about writing orders, a paper show and writing paper, that's definitely evolved. And so brands have to factor in, do I spend that money if it's just a marketing function? But at the end of the day, something like Elastic can really help that trade show become more than just a marketing exercise. You can do merchandising exercises right there on the show floor with Elastic. It's not just about what Elastic can bring to the show. We have to remember what those shows are all about in the first place, and it's getting a sense of what's happening in the industry. It's people talking to people. It's going to dinner after the show is done, building those relationships. And at the end of the day, retailers have put their health on the line to stay open as brick and mortar stores. They really want to meet with the leadership of the industry at these trade shows so that they can tell that leadership team what's happening in their lives. And that's really important. So I don't think the trade show is dead. I think it's going to continue to evolve, but it's far from dead. I think they're more necessary now than ever because we've done too many things by Zoom for too long, and we need to be out in front of each other in person.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I absolutely remember walking the aisles of Outdoor Retailer, and everywhere you'd look, you would see, you know, two buyers sitting in front of a sales rep, standing in front of a wall of products with their clipboards, like writing orders. Like that used to be what trade show was all about, is actually writing orders. Flash forward to today, particularly after the pandemic, when we've been separated so long, like that kind of seems like a crazy waste of time at a trade show, right? Like we want to be engaging and communicating. And like you said, like talking about business and talking about the issues that are impacting our community. And just like the simple act of writing orders just seems like it's a waste of that valuable in-person time now to me.
Orders are being written, on the surf industry as an example. So much of the surf industry from a brand side is based in Southern California. So the West Coast retailers really discovered they don't need to be at a trade show in their eyes in terms of writing orders. But at the end of the day, as you said, there's more to it. There's those educational seminars that happen on the show floor that are super helpful. But in addition to that, what are you using that trade show for? Are you unveiling new product? Are you taking the time and asking your retailers to bring sales staff to the floor so you can educate them on the technical aspects of your product? What a great opportunity to do that on the show floor instead of it just being, well, if I'm not writing orders, I don't need to be here. But the fact of the matter is retailers are still going to the show. So as a brand, I think we owe it to them, anybody in the industry, the media, we all need to be there to meet with those retailers. They are the front lines of our industry.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Elastic allows retail buyers and brands to communicate about their orders, the different SKUs, the whole collections, the merchandising, all of that on an online platform 365 days a year.
Correct. Absolutely.
So it sounds a little bit like Elastic might do some of the work that a traditional sales rep does. Is that correct? Or how does a sales rep fit into the Elastic ecosystem?
So from an Elastic point of view, we absolutely love sales reps. This tool was actually created, in my opinion, for the retailer to have an easier process of doing what they need to do, but also to make the life of a sales rep better, more accurate and strong. And the days of getting a catalog as a rep and immediately getting word from marketing, by the way, cross out this, put a sticker over this SKU, we've discontinued that pattern, this colorway is no longer happening. You don't have to go through that anymore. Everything's 100% accurate. So the tool is actually meant to be a rep's best friend. It is not meant to replace sales reps. We need sales reps more now than ever to get out there and what are you doing in store to merchandise? You're building that relationship with the buyer. How's your business going? What's selling? What's moving? How are your turns? Those are the questions that reps need to be asking, and then building those order proposals based on that. Well, instead of wasting time with paper and notes and scribbles and deciphering and going into Excel spreadsheets and finding somebody in the art department to put together a planogram, the rep has all that right in front of them on Elastic. It really just makes the job of a rep more efficient and more effective. So it definitely does not place a rep. If I'm a rep and somebody said, we've got you this new tool, I'd be thrilled. I'd have a lot more time for building relationships that are so important at that level.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so the buyers and the reps actually use this tool like in real time together, looking at the collections and building these collections and putting these orders in.
They do, they can. And the retailer can also use it if they need to get a quick order in. I need 20 more of those hats that you sold in. They're turning so fast. The retailer can go in and do an order with it. We've counted it, I think it's about 6 clicks to be able to do a quick order. And the rep will get a notice saying, this customer of yours just ordered 24 more hats because they're going through. Now you can follow up and say, saw that you placed that reorder, so glad to see that they're selling. Maybe we ought to look at this product as well. So the idea is you're now starting to think ahead. The retailer's not taking your job from you. You're enabling them to do processes that should be very easy for them as opposed to trying to track you down. You get a notification of that. Now you can follow up and say, great, that's moving. Maybe we ought to look at this product for you as well.
Yeah, and I like what you just said, Sean, about sort of the ability for a B2B platform like this to let people write orders when they need to write orders, right? And not being confined to writing orders at a trade show, because for a long time we've been disagreeing on when the right season is or when the right week is or the right time of year for order writing trade shows. And this kind of solves that problem in a way, because you can write orders any day of the week, 365 days a year, right?
That's correct. Yeah. And again, also battle the big brand and small brand. Now so many people have changed how many seasons they even offer, because do we really need fall and holidays at fall-a-day now? And, depending on where you fit as a brand. So yeah, the timing of the trade show should be, it's still critical. Obviously, we've got to be smart about that time frame. But at the end of the day, as you said, you're never going to make everybody happy. And it changes. 2 years from now, we may say our speed to market's a little different. Now, this is a better time frame. So yes, the platform allows you to do that selling when you're ready, for sure. And it also allows a small brand to be able to be nimble, and a bigger brand to have that speed to market as well.
Yeah, makes sense. So Sean, what is your prediction for what the summer show, the June show, will look like this year? Do you think it'll be more robust? Are we on the upswing? Will the big brands be back? That's another question a lot of people are asking. What's your take?
I'm expecting the June show to be very robust. You're talking summer weather's here. We're seeing everything open up a lot more. So I would anticipate that there's a little bit more of a sense of comfort level of getting into a big group setting. So I'd love to see that show just explode again. And I think we're primed for that. I think we owe it to the retailers who come and show up and have continued to keep their stores open and fought through this pandemic and shutdowns, to be there for them. And at the end of the day, if you ask any small brand that has stuck it out through this whole time, they have done great business at that show, a lot of business. And I've had most of them tell me day one, accounted for just the fact that they were there. Day one was good enough for them to have made that decision to be at the show. So yeah, I'm anticipating it being big. And I'm again, I hope so, because we have a lot of new participants and we've got to continue that energy, and an energy starts at that trade show floor.
So you're bullish. I think it's safe.
I am bullish for sure. Ultimate optimist, but I love this industry, and I think we owe it to this industry to rally as a unified industry, to continue to shout from the rooftops how great it is to get out, hike, climb, ride a bike, ski, snowboard. That's everybody remembered that during this pandemic.
Sean, it's been really great talking with you. Thank you so much for all your insights and filling us in on Elastic Suite and how that works as a tool for the outdoor industry and buyers and reps and brands. And it's been really great talking with you.
Same here, Kristen. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And here's to a good summer season for the industry.
Right on. And thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of First Look. We've got lots more conversations with industry leaders like this, so check us out.